Let's start with the developing situation at the Sarit Centre in Westlands and right here in Nairobi, where a fire gutted a section of the ground floor of the mall. A statement from the management said the fire had been contained, but let's get an update from Leila Mohamed, our reporter who is still there. Leila, what else have you heard? What else can you see?
Well, Gladys, I think a picture is more than 1,000 words. So let me just step out of my cameraman's shot. Up there, you can see there is a group of gentlemen up there. These are workers who are working on a construction site on the other end of this building, and they have been there for a while now. So we are not sure if they are trapped or they are trying to help the fire department to sort of like guide them to where this fire is, because in the last hour, this particular smoke has become a bit darker, and it's much more than what we had expected earlier in the day. There was concern that probably there would be loss of life, but what we are looking at now, Gladys, is probably the loss of property. As you had experienced earlier, less than 10 minutes ago, there was concern by some of the business owners who really were saying that they should be allowed into the floors where the fire has been contained, just to go and see the kind of damage that they have experienced. So the smoke is still getting much darker. We are wondering if the fire department is getting anywhere in terms of finding the real source of this to stop any further damage. So we, from the pictures that you're seeing, there are people in the building, but we are not sure if anyone has been injured. So what you're seeing down the street is the two fire engines that have been here since 10 minutes after they got that call that there is a fire at the Sarit Centre. There are also emergency responders. The ambulances have still been here. They have taken care of those who are from outside this particular building who had smoke inhalation problems, as well as there is police service. As you can see farther down the line, Gladys, this gentleman's car is being towed away just for safety keeping. Probably the owner is not available, that's why he's being towed. But as is right now, what people are looking at is if there is no loss of lives or those who have been seriously injured, people are now looking into the loss of property, and this could be translated probably into the millions of shillings, considering that this building houses so many business and entrepreneurs of different kinds and caliber. Earlier we were able to speak to a lady who was on the second floor of this building, and she says she owns a salon and she was in a position to be allow her workers, and they are all ladies in that salon, and they were able to carefully and keenly leave this building. But there's so many concerns, Gladys, over how long this thing is taking and why no serious answers are coming out of what could be the problem of why there is still a huge fire. So we've been able to speak to a couple of people who are saying that probably one store on the second floor, probably a butter store, could have been affected. So as you can see, the police have barricaded this side of the road. All Kenyans have been asked to stand behind this vehicle just for their safekeeping. Senior police officers are on the ground, emergency responders of all kinds, security personnel here just to ensure that the security of all who are within this area are safe and sound. So on this other side where we were earlier when we were speaking to you, Gladys, the smoke is still as much as possible, and probably that is where the fire brigade officers are concentrating. We are basically just doing a waiting game to find out what could have been the cause of the fire. So a few gentlemen and a lady are walking down to where there was some sort of commotion earlier in the afternoon, where some of those who wanted to access back into this facility were being ushered out. Police had to literally calm them down, not use force, calm them down and just tell them to leave until they can be in a position to make sure that all is well. So for now, what we had actually thought would be a small fire, like that statement from the management of the Sarit Centre had earlier said that this was a small fire, but that particular smoke emanating from the second floor surely is a cause of concern, and we will be here to bring you the details as and when they come to us. Gladys.
Leila, before I let you go, beyond the conversation of disaster preparedness and response, earlier we'd seen some of the shop owners asking that they be let in to check on their shops. And having been told to leave the building or the vicinity of the building, do you know if there are any other people left within the building?
So at the moment, like I showed you earlier, there are those gentlemen in their yellow hats. Those are construction workers who are working on the other side of the building. Those are the only people we can actually see outside, other than police officers and the emergency responders, which are basically the fire brigade officials. But everyone else has literally been locked out, and they're standing on the aisles waiting until they can get the go-ahead to go into the building and just take a look at the damage that has been caused. But I think even as they are preparing to go back in, probably the fire officials might not allow them as soon as they would like, because now after the fire has been taken care of, there now comes in the issue of them doing an audit to find out whether this could have been a case of arson or just an accident that has clearly happened. So basically what we are doing is a wait and see game. As you heard earlier, Gladys, there were that group of gentlemen who were saying that they are smelling a rat literally, and they are saying they are reading malice, considering the stature and where the Sarit Centre mall is located in terms of they are seeing it as a business sabotage. But those are details that we cannot authenticate ourselves until we get any official communication from the National Police Service or the management of the building. So Gladys, what we are looking at are just the response of this, which they are saying happened pretty quickly, and they were hoping within an hour to take care of this crisis. However, it is now turning out into something more, and something that they need to maybe look back at their game plan and now start all over again of how to deal with that particular fire. So those who are leaving, we are hoping could be some of the management of this building, and we are hoping that they will be able to speak to us later in the day. So for now, back to you, Gladys, in studio.
Leila, if you can hear me, you're standing right next to the fire engines. We're seeing tweets of people saying the fire engines might have run out of water. Can you confirm this?
Well, the fire engines are here, Gladys. I didn't quite hear your question correctly, but there are those gentlemen in suits. But what we can know for sure is that there are senior county officials who are taking care of dealing with this fire who are here. So maybe we can just give you a shot of the entrance and what some of the emergency responders are carrying. So there was a buzz of activity earlier in the day. Much of those people who were standing here outside have been asked to leave kindly, as those who are in charge of ensuring that this fire has been contained can be able to do their work without any hitch. But further, you can see some of those who are just bringing water to those who are concerned. So this is where we are at the moment, Gladys, and we hope in the next hour or so that this fire shall be contained.
Thank you. Leila Mohamed speaking to us from the Sarit Centre, Westlands Mall, and she has been giving us a detailed look at what's going on around the building, as many people have been told, actually everyone has been told to leave the building, even as the fire department tries to figure out where the cause of the smoke is coming from, because there seems to be still a part of a building that is emitting smoke. And speaking of which, she actually spoke about a statement that was released by Sarit Centre, and it was released at around 11 a.m. and it reads, "We would like to inform all our tenants and shoppers that there was a small fire in one of our outlets on the ground floor, which has now been contained by Sarit Centre security staff and the Nairobi County Fire Department. No injuries reported," and they'll keep giving details of the same. Now, that small fire clearly seems to have morphed into something else, because we still are seeing heavy smoke coming out of that building. And also, just to follow up on some of the questions being put across, some that are concerned about their favorite outlets. There is a tweet here from N. Rashid, who is asking just to confirm if my favorite place, News Cafe, is okay. And News Cafe has actually, or have actually, replied to him saying that all is well. And also, another store that is at the Sarit Centre, that is Healthy You, they put out a tweet earlier on, and they said, "Our Sarit Centre branch remains closed for today as the fire department and security officials try to contain the fire. Please use our Westgate branch as an alternative." And of course, they mentioned that their staff and customers have been evacuated as Sarit Centre staff and officials control the fire on the ground floor, but all are safe. Well, a lot of communication coming out from those that own stores at the Sarit Centre, Westlands Mall. There was a fire earlier on at the ground floor. The fire engines and the police say they have contained the fire on the ground floor, but we still seem to be seeing a lot of smoke coming from one part of the building, and that cause of that smoke is yet to be established. And as soon as that is done and we get more information on the details of the extent of the damage and of course casualties, if there are any, we shall be bringing that to you. Well,